Hello everybody, welcome to Thursday Tea Time Live. I'm trying again to do this on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, so we shall see how we go. Alright, I think we're live now both on YouTube and Facebook for tea time. Let's get that out of the way for how are you all? I hope you're okay. We've got through to Thursday, that means we're nearly through to the week. And yeah, there's a lot still going on, even though we can't travel anywhere. Obviously that's a big part of my job. So I've been putting into place other things. Now hopefully you can hear me a bit better today on whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, because I'm mic'd up to both, I hope. Let me know if that works. Okay. So what's been going on? Well, I hope you're all well, and in all senses of the word. I just want to first of all give a shout out to Gail, who joined the British History Club on Patreon this week. So hi Gail. Also let you know that we've got 3 videos I've put out. So one yesterday was, what did I do yesterday? It was, oh, you tell me, I'll tell you, as my mum used to say. Well, today is what we're the 11th. So today is the death of Elizabeth of York, Henry VIII's mother, and she died on her 37th birthday, Tower of London, after she gave birth to a baby girl called Catherine. Hiya, Vicky. And in the video that I put out today, I haven't got into her story as much, because obviously there's going to be lots of different stories around about Elizabeth today. I go into the Vaux Passionale, which if you haven't heard of it, I think you're going to like. And it was discovered in the National Welsh Archives. I hope I've got their name right. And the Vaux Passionale, they think, is a book commissioned either by or for Henry VII following the death of his wife Elizabeth of York. Now remembering that they'd also lost their son Arthur the previous year. So Elizabeth died in 1503. They'd lost Arthur in 1502. And this book, it's amazing, and the illuminations in it are incredible as well. So anyway, I've got that in the video, so you can listen to it as a podcast, but obviously if you watch it as a video, it's on YouTube, then you'll be able to see the actual picture. Now the interesting thing is that in the front plate is a depiction potentially of Henry actually being handed this book, but also in the background there are 2 girls, teenage style age, with black hoods on, so for mourning, and behind them is a little boy with his head in his hand, in his arm, on a black swathed bed. So the theory is that that is a depiction of the 11-year-old Prince Henry in mourning for his mother. So anyway, that's what I've covered in that video. So yesterday was what's all going on here? That was the front door. I'll ignore it. Yesterday was Queen Victoria married Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg. Go through as well if you want to add that one on. And so I covered that yesterday. You know, who proposed to who? Did she agree to obey? You'll have to watch if you don't know. Now tomorrow is the execution of Lady or Queen. I'd like to go for Queen Jane, but anyway, everyone knows her more as Lady Jane Grey. It's the anniversary of her execution tomorrow on the 12th. Now, if you are a patron member, how do you say it? Fide? Hi, anyway. Yeah, so if you're a patron, then you've already got access to those, to the Lady Jane Grey video. And also next week, the 16th, is the funeral of Henry VIII. Now, I know you'll probably know that I've got a video about where Henry VIII is buried. If you haven't seen that one, it's quite popular. So so I'm very proud of that one. It's been up on YouTube. I did it as a live a couple of years ago, and it's doing really, really well ever since. So I'm quite pleased about that. But I have done another one about his actual funeral, because where he's buried is kind of the after story. And on the one video I go into why he was there in the first place and why he never got moved, or my theory, Hiya Jan, as to why he never got moved. Obviously I back it up with some logical thinking, I should hope. But the video that's going to go out on YouTube on the 16th, and again, patrons have already got access. If you are in my patron club, you can go and see that now. It's talking more about the funeral and the sarcophagus and where that ended up and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, those are the videos that are either at live or they're about to go live for you to catch. Now, I've done them as really short snippets, which might make me look a little bit lazy, but actually it's more that I'm trying to get over, some really interesting bits of history rather quickly. We're all busy, and if you've got more time, then there's quite a few of them, so you can roll them on from each other. So we'll see. Now, if you are what's this I was going to show you? Oh yes, so as I've mentioned, so I've only just started my Patreon, which is patreon.com/British History. I can't get my words out. I can never say British History, which is rather awkward, seeing as it's the name of my company. Anyway, I've put together the calendar of events for the next 3 months, so that if you are interested in coming along, you can have a look exactly what you'll find out exactly what you can expect. And I'll post it. Look at this, I've been designing a poster. I'm quite impressed with myself. So we've got a monthly blog, we've got a monthly historian interview and a monthly live event, and then every quarter, it depends on what level you are, but every quarter we have a live talk as well and Q&A session. So I've got a blog on Jane Seymour about to go live, and I do try and look at things in a slightly different way, because I think we're all in danger in history terms of, well, there's two things actually. Just accepting received history. So someone tells you this is how it happened, and then we think, well, that's how it happened, and then we repeat it without really thinking it through or challenging it. Now, of course, we're dealing with people. People are complex. Events are complex. And, for instance, in the case of Jane Seymour, who I've written this blog about, we're talking 500 years ago. So you and I, knowing the same person now, would probably disagree slightly as to what we think their motivations are or what we think their personality is, and we're trying to do it at a distance of 500 years. So the blog I've done about Jane is tackling some of what I think are the myths around her, namely that she was some kind of meek, mild antidote to her predecessor Anne Boleyn. So anyway, patrons, you'll get that as well. We've also got a talk from Matt Lewis at Ludlow Castle, obviously recorded before COVID, talking about Ludlow Castle. Now, if you've been to Ludlow Castle, you'll know it's a magical place. It's a ruin on it's in Shropshire, but it's on the Welsh border. So it's on the English-Welsh border, and it was a really important castle. It was a seat of the Prince of Wales for quite a while, and numerous times tried to bring it back as such. It's where Prince Arthur was when he died. So Arthur Tudor, elder brother to Henry VIII, it's where he was when he died. But it's already a significant castle during the Wars of the Roses especially, and Matt talks us through that and its history since and why it lies in a ruin now. Then next month we've got Gareth Russell talking about, well, I wanted to quiz him about the aftermath of the Titanic. So he's written an incredible book, which is over there somewhere on my bookcase, about the sinking of the Titanic, but also sort of the Edwardian era. At the end of the Edwardian era, it kind of marked the end, and his narrative is absolutely amazing, the way he weaves in so much different history. And I wanted to quiz him about what happened afterwards, because obviously the concentration is always on what happened at the sinking. So that was really interesting. And then in April, we've got Leslie Smith from Tutbury Castle. Now, Tutbury, she's actually the, I was going to say, she is the curator of Tutbury Castle. She's also the leaseholder, and she's an incredible historian in her own right. And she's done a talk on Mary Rose. That was something else I've done, on Mary Queen of Scots as prisoner at Tutbury, which she was on 4 occasions. Leslie's a very, very engaging speaker, so you'll really enjoy that. And then this is where I got Mary Rose from. The special live event is going to be the Mary Rose, so that's in April as well. So I'll post that anyway, because if you're interested, you can have a peruse and decide. In fact, the Mary Rose talk, I did a version of to Harbourside WI. Anyone who doesn't know what the WI is, I don't know if the WI is global or just in the UK, the Women's Institute. So I did a talk for Harbourside WI on Zoom and on Monday night, which was really, really fun. The ladies were lovely, and actually there was 91 of them in the end, because they have their own, and then there's a Wanderers WI as well, which means that you can, if you're a member of any, you can go to someone else's event. So we ended up with 91 people. It's brilliant, and they asked loads of questions afterwards. So that's the one that we're going to be doing. What's Philip say? My favourite view on history is from Mary Beard. She says history is just one person's view and opinion on an event. The next person to research it might come up with something different. Philip, I think that is so important as well, because, you know, if you're relying on the last person or people to have looked into history, or looked into an event or looked into a person, one, obviously you've got their viewpoint that none of us can help having when we look at something. None of us can be totally objective. It's not in human nature, it's not possible, but it's a good thing to be aware of. And if they've missed something, and then it's never going to come up, is it? So hi Sarah. Yes, the talk went very well, thank you. 91 women I was talking to. It's a good job I just had my screen. If I'd have known. And Mary Beard is, anyone who's not watched any of Mary Beard's stuff, check her out. She is brilliant. And it's reminded me of a quote that I heard the other day, actually ridiculously, on a video game advert. And it said, there's no such thing as the truth, only who you believe. How poignant is that for a video game? I thought that was quite good. But it's true, isn't it? And it's true right now, and it's true when we look back on other events as well. So, and Sarah, it's so funny that you've just joined, because I was just about to say that tomorrow I'm recording with Sarah Morris on her podcast, which is the Tudor Travel Guide, and it's Tudor Travel Essentials podcast. And I get to go on Sarah's podcast every month and talk about something to do with travelling around the UK. And tomorrow we're talking about how much it costs to do different things. So if you're, planning on, we're ignoring the fact that at the moment we don't know what's going on. When you can come to the UK, how much things might cost you. So we're doing that tomorrow. So if you, Sarah's got a fantastic podcast, and anyway, but yeah, I get to go on it once a month as well, which I really enjoy. Check. I want to see if I can show you this. Right, I've been playing with some designs for my The Rest is History shop on Teespring. So if you want to see it, it's teespring.com, I think, /The Rest is History. There'll be a link from my profile anyway. And I've been working on some designs. I don't know if you can tell. So that's Hever Castle. I've done a few different versions of things. Oh, this one. Can I get it right? If any of you've been, this is Salisbury Cathedral's, Salisbury Cathedral, and that's their font. Isn't it incredible? I love it. And it's really, yeah, the tech. Last time Sarah and I did the podcast, we had to abandon it. The tech was not playing. Hampton Court. Ooh. So I'm really excited about these. So I will, obviously I'll post when I've decided what to do with them. Either they might just be, I might put them on just as a digital download, so you can download them and print them off as posters or whatever. But I've also got the option of putting them on things like towels and cushions, and so I'm going to have a play. If there's something particular you need for the house right now, let me know. I'll see if I can stick a picture of Hever Castle on it, or Hampton Court. Oh, some of you will recognise this. St Peter ad Vincula at the Tower of London. Burial place, obviously, of Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard. Catherine Howard, it's the anniversary of her execution on Saturday. There's a lot of Tudor executions in February. Can you see that one? One of you can, one of you can't. Hampton Court. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with all that. That's quite fun. But yeah, if you want to know anything, I think I've got links to everything from my profiles. If I haven't, ping me. I'm on office@britishhistorytours.com, so you can ping me anytime anyway, and ask me questions if you need if you need to. Right, well, so thank you so much for joining me for Thursday tea time. I didn't actually manage to get my tea ready in time. That's really bad. So I'm going to go off and have my cup of tea now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm going to do this every Thursday. So please, please, please feel free to drop in and say hi. But for now, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, wherever you are, evening, if you're over Australia kind of way, the rest of your day, if you're America side, and if you're in Britain, then we're coming toward the end of the working day, so it's nearly time to relax. All right, I'll see you all very soon. Bye.